Don't engage alone. We do this together.
Yeah!
Yeah!
We got it! We got
New 52 booklet.
it! Somebody clip this one.
Oh boy, has it been a week. Welcome to Under Two Capes. I'm Jared. I'm here with the boys. I got Nick and Teladia. What's up, gents?
Welcome to the fandom.
Yeah,
Welcome.
so today we're talking about when fan passion goes too far. Now, what motivated this? So I had a couple of choice interactions on Twitter with just by posting that I like Snyder stuff or like I disagree, because someone posted that the DC superhero girls adaptation of Wonder Woman was the most accurate, and I said not according to the comics I watch. Then this person sends me a picture of my profile because it has like hashtag restore the Snyderverse and all that stuff on there, and goes, "Oh yeah, I'm sure." So then I sent her a picture of my comic book shelf and said, "Try again." But the point is, and I'm currently in the middle of a debate with someone that's commenting on my YouTube videos saying that by challenging their ideas, that's me. That's toxic, apparently. By
Wait. So you're saying the stuff that's literally right behind you right now?
I know!
All that stuff isn't just decoration? Like, you've actually read all those comics?
Yeah, everything except for that shelf right there, because that's my to read shelf, and then the one on the other side is my to read for Marvel. Everything else I've read.
Wait, you're not a... Wait. You can't be a content creator if you don't have a shelf full of books you've never read that are simply just decoration.
I know,
Pretend like
right?
you have cred.
That's like content creation 101. But the point is, so to be clear, we're talking about when because it's great to have a passionate fan base. 100%, that's what you need. That's how you know that like you've reached people. But there are times when the fandom takes it way too far, like to the extreme.
Wonderbat.
Extreme.
I think when in terms of extreme fandom, we have to go outside of comics for this one. But Jared, I think you agree. We kind of have to mention the Death Star in the room.
Yeah, the Star Wars fandom.
While I don't agree, the media portrays Star Wars fans a lot worse than they are, but it's not as far off as I'd like it to be. There's a phrase
extremely hostile. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Now there's a phrase like, "Oh, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans." I think and Jared, Henry Cavill actually said it the best.
Mm-hmm.
These people are just passionate.
Yeah, but there's a certain
Do you remember
line.
that interview? Do you remember that interview that Henry did?
Yeah.
But there's a certain line when that passion crosses a line. Again, and I've dealt with these people on stream and not on stream, because it's like, I get that you like these characters to a certain degree, but attacking people because they like a different version of those characters or a different ship or whatever is not making your argument any stronger. If anything, it's making you look unhinged.
Like, you can disagree with Kelly Marie Tran's character. You can not like her character. You can think her character is an abomination. But that doesn't give you a right to attack the actress.
Because she's just showing up to read a script. It's not like she personally wrote the character. Even now, don't attack anyone.
Now, if the actor or actress says something really stupid, Rachel! Oh, sorry.
Rachel Ziegler. No, but still, don't like attack the person, but
attack the issue. Like, Rachel Ziegler said some really stupid stuff. You want to attack what she said and call her out for saying some really stupid stuff? Go right ahead. You want to call her a dumb "see you next Tuesday" or death threats? No.
What were you gonna say, Teladia?
Also, like, it's a job right, for the actors.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much, if the fans attack the actors, it kind of puts a strain and pressure on them to put a better performance, right? So, that's the way I see it. Unless the actor and actresses does something dumb, because I want to keep this PG.
Thank you.
Um,
Right.
um, i if they do something dumb, then that's on them. That's not on the fans. That's on them for acting dumb and silly.
Yeah,
Right.
Kelly Marie Tran just read a script, and honestly, she never said anything really egregious. Yes, Rachel Ziegler said some stupid stuff, and we rightly gave her flack for that.
Yeah, but directing it, and see, here's the thing: this gets it gets worse in the comic book community because everyone is very set in their era of comics and thinking this is the only legitimate iteration of these characters.
Oh, you mean like the late 90s, early 2000s isn't the only legitimate era of comics?
Yeah, and actually, Comicstorian had a fantastic way of looking at this stuff, and they're like, "This character wouldn't act this way." And he goes, "No, your favorite version wouldn't act this way. You have to treat whenever a new writer comes on, or like whenever an era comes on, as a completely wholly different version."
Yeah, this is something that's really hard for a lot of people to wrap their heads around. And me and Jared, one about to say, you can totally like there is a very vocal portion of the Batman fan base where their version of Batman doesn't use guns. Their version of Batman doesn't kill. And you know what? That's fine. Their version, they can have that version. That is perfectly fine. But me and you, Jared, our version sometimes uses guns, sometimes straps into the Batmobile.
But my favorite, or when those people say my favorite Batman doesn't kill, I love Michael Keaton. And then they'll go like, "Oh, we never liked that Michael Keaton's Batman kills. Since when?" Because all I hear about is how he's like the most comic accurate Batman.
I mean, okay. First off,
he's close to being comic accurate. I'll give you that.
Okay, Keaton is my favorite movie screen Batman. Yep. Everyone knows that.
That's fine.
But he is far from comic book accurate. Like even the Batman of the time, like the Dark Knight Returns Batman, the Keaton Batman is really far out from there, and that's fine. That is perfectly fine. He's still Batman.
It's a different version. It's a very enjoyable version. I love Keaton. He's like my actually second favorite Batman. Because he actually has a good Batman voice. Yes, Bale go level because of his stupid voice.
Yeah, like it's really freaking subtle. The difference in the voice, but it works.
It works 100%, and I'm fine with that. But the thing is, like, particularly when it comes to a certain director's work in the DC universe, such as it rhymes with let me put this. Okay, I'm going to say it. Zack Snyder fans. See, here's the thing. I want to be clear on this. There are some people in the Snyder fan base that go, I have dealt with these people personally. 100%.
But way less than the antis like to claim.
The antis, there's not a day that goes by when like I don't see someone praise Snyder's work or like say I like this scene, then someone's then an anti Twitter account and says go act like Autumn Snyder.
I know that's not you saying it, but no. Hearing it,
I know.
I'm not just hearing that. It just makes me die inside.
That's the number one thing I see. And then there were some people that said, "Oh, his daughter hated Zack Snyder's movies, so she did that to escape." And I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
Look at Nick's face. That just says it.
Here's the problem. I get that you like Christopher Reeve.
We found something worse than Wonderbat.
Yes, we did. This is disgusting. See, here's the thing. I get that people can have their preferences for characters. Like Nick, your favorite Superman is Reeves. That's fine. You're allowed to. He's a great Superman. My favorite's Cavill. But the thing is like when you take it to a step where you're saying that because I don't like this version, I want actual harm on the director. That's when I take issue. Go ahead.
And I've even met people who genuinely don't like Zack Snyder. and they give legitimate reasons. And when they hear, "Oh, you like Snyder," they're like, "Oh, okay, whatever. I don't like it." It's just I just meant to okay, we're not going to talk about the Snyder films, and it's literally that easy. Like I've met people who don't like it, and they give what are legitimate reasons, and it's fine. Like we act like adults. Holy crap!
When I interviewed other Jared from Frost Comics, he told me straight up, I don't like Snyder's movies, but we had a nice adult conversation. But by adult, I mean a nice civil conversation about it. He gave me his reasons for not liking it, and I was like, okay, fair enough. It's not for everyone. I got it. But again, that's the way it should be. But and again, because with Twitter, everyone's detached. But the number one thing, I say this all the time, and we mentioned this at the beginning of the episode, I always get accused of not reading the comics. And
do they look behind you?
Or like if it's on Twitter, if I'm having a Twitter conversation with someone, then they say that, I just send them a picture of this and go, try again.
Here's what you need to do, Jared. You need to have your Twitter banner literally be your comic shelf.
Yeah. What's up, Teladia?
Don't they ever watch your videos?
No, these people clearly don't. And also, these are the people that clearly they don't read comics. They just go off of like some panels and then their headcanon. And I legit posted, I reposted a Mari tweet where she goes, "Newsflash, your headcanon is not actual canon."
Wow.
See, like, this is a problem.
That's true.
This is a problem that I see with people who act and I don't want to make this like a non-fan versus actual fan debate, because I think that's kind of just as toxic as like the thing we're going against.
Can I say one thing real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to disagree with you. This is the fact of not real fans, because if you're attacking someone if you're just attacking someone because they like a different version of a character and they're being civil, let's be clear. If you're like scratching their eyes out practically over the internet, particularly DC fans who are aware of the multiverse, I'm sorry, you're not a real DC fan.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, because you're kind of falling into the no true Scotsman fallacy there, because there are people who are fans of modern DC. Like there are people who like they love like modern DC, modern Marvel, who read the comics, who consume the media. Yes. Those are actual fans. They may be aggressive and toxic towards other people, and we may disagree with them, but I refuse to strip them. I refuse to call them non-fans. They are fans. They just happen to be opposed, and I don't like how they act, but I'm not going to strip them of the title of fan.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Sorry, I'm just trying to be fair.
Yeah.
I mean, the issue. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Teladia.
I mean, for example, right? We love the New 52 stuff, right? And we know that
the stuff that actually sells.
The stuff that actually sells, yes. But other people like Rebirth or the new DC stuff. I'm just like,
some people even like the idea of 5G.
Some people even like John Kent being an adult. but here's the thing. Yeah, I've said I personally did not enjoy. Like I've had conversations with Tevia. Look, I don't enjoy John Kent as a character. If you like him, hey, more power to you, dude. I really because here's ultimately I'm going to play a clip that perfectly encapsulates this. What a lot of people have to realize. Remember these characters.
Okay, they're talking about fictional characters. Fictional characters.
That is such an evergreen clip, brother.
Because here's the thing, and again, Nerdette, it takes a lot of heat from people. They actually like are very toxic to her because of her takes on comics, and even she said, we're talking about comic books. It's not like she kicked a puppy.
Fictional
characters. I know. That is a clip that I will be able to use forever.
I'm not going to kick a puppy. I'm going to pet it instead.
Yes, exactly. That's the way you should. But the point is, and to be clear, I understand that a lot of these fans have had personal experiences with these specific versions of these characters, and they really like them. I got that 100%. I respect that, as a matter of fact. But there is a point when passion crosses that line, and then it ceases to become passion and becomes toxicity, particularly on Twitter. But that's just Twitter in general, or like social media, because there's a layer of separation. But and the other group of fans that I think are taking it a little too far. So James Gunn has taken over the DCU. There's nothing we can do about that right now. But there is a certain contingent of the fan base that are upset that Snyder fans aren't like excited and like positive about the DC universe, and they're like calling him toxic. And I'm like, who said we have to blindly consume stuff? Now, to be clear,
no. If you're gonna quote the immortal clip, get excited, get hype, consume product, get excited for next product.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're not real DC fans, that they're not excited for all these other projects, and I'm like, well, first off, no. The point, it gets to the point where I'm like, well, listen, I'm not going to be blindly positive about something that I have real concerns about. What's up, Nick?
Wasn't basically our consensus once the whole James Gunn thing looked like it was going to be a thing? Wasn't the consensus among Comics League would be like, let's just wait and see what happens. Let's like approach it with an open mind. Like we at least try to stay positive. It may not be Snyderverse, but maybe it'll be something. Like I'm pretty sure that was our consensus.
That was, and by the way, James Gunn said something very interesting. He said he clarified his whole Zack Snyder hasn't expressed any interest. I think he really changed his mind, but the point is that what he said was Zack hasn't expressed any interest to me. So what that means is, what that implies is, if we're taking him at his word, that's a big if because he keeps changing his mind. But the point is, bear with me. If Zack came to him and said, hey, dude, I'd like to continue. I'd like to in some way find a way to wrap this up. Can I do that? You would think, based upon James Gunn's statements, that he would say, okay, fine, we'll find a way for you to do it.
I just gotta say, I really don't like the word games that James Gunn is playing when he says he hasn't expressed, and based on your inflection, you're kind of like doing the point where he hasn't said anything to me, like you based on like your inflection. What he's saying is because Zack has expressed interest in doing it, like he's expressed it in interviews, but he hasn't expressed it directly to him. So it's a word game that frustrates me to no end.
The problem is James Gunn treats it like it should be obvious information, and you shouldn't be. First off, you shouldn't be talking down to your audience. That's the first thing right there. Mm-hmm. That's because when you think about it, he has to sell the DC a already damaged brand to the audience right now, and guess what? He's doing a very poor job of doing it. Well, what's up, Teladia? Really? Teladia's hand was up first. What's up, Teladia?
Mm-hmm. So I was gonna say that the thing is with James Gunn, he's confusing the audience, and that's his problem. He shouldn't be confusing the audience. He should just let this play out how it is, and then be like, oh, okay, now the DC universe starts, right? It starts here and now. That's when the project is starting to promote, right? Mm-hmm. You don't do it before Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is released. You don't do it after Blue Beetle.
Yeah, he did that, Nick. He said that like everything pre-Creature Commandos is not canon.
I mean, the fact that we all knew this was going to happen. This is my problem with the James Gunn, and I think this is kind of a product of him being on Twitter and not just like announcing stuff. Is everything is all quick? He's basically building a foundation on quicksand. Like everything is always shifting. We don't know where things stand. He can change his mind at any time, and it's just like we don't know like what's gonna happen here. It was very vague. Like he said, "Oh, Blue Beetle could be," and then when Blue Beetle underperformed, "Oh, nope, Creature Commandos," and blah blah blah. It's just it's. Well, first off, I mean we all know announcing a reboot when you had 3 movies still in the pipeline was a stupid thing to do.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss off both you guys. You ready? Apparently, thing for Patty Jenkins Wonder Woman 3, Ben Affleck was all in for coming back as Ben. And second off, he was going to show up in Wonder Woman 3 because Wonder Woman 3 is going to take place after Justice League and The Flash.
I mean, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Patty would have found a way to muck it up, and we saw 1984.
She would have found a way to no. She brings back Steve Trevor. Only this time he's inhabiting Batman's body.
Oh God.
Okay. All right.
That doesn't count as Wonderbat because it's still Steve Trevor. That
You're
doesn't
breaking
count. I
the
still see Trevor.
you're breaking the truce, Nick.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that.
Nick, you're breaking it. Because trust me, I have something in the pipeline that I have prepped in case you break the truce. And trust me, it's
You
a
literally
nuclear
told
bomb.
me. You literally told me what.
No,
it
I
was.
have other stuff in mind. I have stuff in reserve.
Oh yes, and I
But the
know
point
that
is, Ben Affleck was gonna come back as Batman. So,
It-
So
but
does that-
anyway,
Wait, does that mean we'd see Chris Pine in the bat suit?
actually, that
please
doesn't actually sound that bad when you think about it. I could see it.
please get him out.
But
Bat
see,
Trevor.
the thing is, it's like even I came up against James Gunn fans. Here's how. You ready? I just said, hey, I'm not enjoying Peacemaker. I don't like overly vulgar superhero content. That's all I said. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything whatsoever about I hate James Gunn. He's a horrible person. Nope. I just said I personally don't like this. Go ahead, Nick.
See, this is a problem with like fan to fan conversation, and I'm gonna be honest, we're all guilty of this, like all of us here, myself especially. So I'm no superior innocent party myself. Is we take we like what we should do is I like X, this other person likes Y. We should be like, okay, you like X, I don't like Y. Leave it at that. But we treat it like it's a competition. We treat it like, oh, we have to own this person. We have to, beat them down with like quick quirks or whatever. We have to convince them they're wrong. We have to, blah blah blah. It's like this battle. We treat it like it's a team sport. Like, oh, I'm Team Snyder. I'm Team Anti-Snyder. We want to own the antis, and I see this on both sides of the fight, and it's really freaking toxic, guys. We need to stop.
It's really annoying, and the hypocritical part is both sides of the fandom are the ones complaining that DC fans are so divided, and I'm like, yeah, you first.
I am just as guilty. Mm-hmm. I am very much guilty of the thing I'm complaining about. So I'm calling myself out. Me as much as I'm calling everyone else out. I am calling myself out just to be full disclosure.
Me too, But there are times I intentionally wade into it, like with my Lois Lane video. I clearly was intending that. But
you were like,
Teladia,
come on, do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this, right? When it comes down to DC fans, they go very, very, they go to the boiling point, right? Especially James Gunn fans to the Snyder fans. They're clashing of heads, right?
Oh, if you think it's bad, you should like see in the Marvel sphere, because Marvel is mainstream. Because like with Marvel, you have the normies are a part of this as well. Because like Marvel is like mainstream culture. Like the MCU is basically the Star Wars for Gen Z, and so in the Marvel discourse, you have a lot of people who really don't know what the heck they're talking about, and the MCU stands, it's even worse.
But it essentially what I'm trying to get at is like, why can't DC fans like both sides? Like, what confuses? Yes, I'm confused about what James Gunn is saying, but does that mean I'm really, really, really pumped up for Superman Legacy? Not that much anymore, because it's so confusing, because like there's so many aspects for the film that confuses me. And furthermore, I don't know if you know this, Jared. They're bringing back Freddy. What's his name? The guy who plays Vigilante. The guy who plays Vigilante.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm like, I expected that. But see, the thing is, again, I'm fine with people not liking Snyder. I'm fine with people not liking SuperWonder. I do not care. But if you come at me aggressively, I'm sorry, I'm not going to take your argument seriously at all. If anything, it's going to lead to either a block or a ban from the channel. That's what's going to lead to. I'm sorry, I'm not required to platform someone who's toxic.
That same goes for me.
I'm sorry, I have to be strict on that, because I try and cultivate, not an echo chamber, a positive environment. I've had Syl on and he railed against Superman and Wonder Woman being a couple, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. We can have our disagreements. I've had pro Wonderbat people on the show, and I don't care.
I mean, honestly, you'd platform an anti-Snyder person as long as they were polite about it.
I did. I had two, Robert and Nerdette.
And you also turned the Wonderbat guy into a SuperWonder fan, which was true, which is me.
Yes, well, you guys were just saying it just to screw with me, so it wasn't like you were just like 100% like devoted.
For the record, I'm under duress, so anything I say about that will be compromised.
Yeah, of course. But see, going back to it, the other thing that at least I encounter, and a lot of this episode is just going to be like us talking about the toxicity we encounter. And I've talked about this with Britt on our show SuperWonder Legacy, is the shipping communities.
Oh,
because here's the problem, and this goes on all of the ships, all of them. I'm not picking on one. If you disagree with their ship, even if it's like these characters look at each other. Oh, it should be a couple. Why? If you even do that, they act like you're like attacking them verbally, and I'm like,
Jared, just be glad you're not a K-pop fan. Oh my God, K-pop stands, like they make DC fans, they make Star Wars fans look like perfect angels. Oh dear God, K-pop fans are oh wow, especially in Korea.
You should see the hate I got for the Lois Lane clip, because again, I had some people that were like, okay, I see your argument, but how about this? And I was like, okay, that's fine. I like seeing a little bit of disagreement, but there were straight up people. Someone told me to go F myself. Someone told me to shut down my channel because I obviously don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, okay. And the same thing on Twitter. And I was like, no.
Jared, go eat a sandwich.
I probably will after this, but the thing is, like, even when it comes
shut the duck up and go enjoy a book.
And Nick, by the way, so our SuperWonder, our show we do with the Justice League rewatch, I've started getting heat from Wonderbat people because how many times I take time out of the episode to basically talk about how Wonderbat doesn't work. And I only bring it up because Bruce Timm insists on shoehorning it into practically every episode.
Do you have a dedicated intro for SuperWonder Legacy?
I do, as a matter of fact. I do.
Yes, please tell me, like right at the very end, is also Wonderbat sucks.
No, I wish I did. I started the last episode of SuperWonder Legacy. I made Britt laugh before I even said welcome to Comics League or welcome to SuperWonder Legacy. I just started off. I hit record. Lois Lane sucks.
Yeah, that's
Britt starts laughing, and she's like, you're starting hot now."
Jared, I dare you. After we record this, I want you to go onto Twitter and put Lois Lane sucks. That's it. That's the tweet.
No, you know what I did? I put out a tweet that said the most boring couple in comics is Superman and Lois, and then someone accused me of being a tourist fan. And legit, again, I sent a picture of my thing right back there and said, "Try again."
Wouldn't the tourist opinion be to ship Superman and Lois? Like, wouldn't that actually be the tourist?
Yeah,
opinion?
because guess what? That's like the most like superficial thing. My dad even was like, "Oh, it's always been Superman and Lois," and I'm like, it hasn't sold well. In terms of comics, Superman and Lois. They'll bring up. By the way, I had someone bring up like Lois Lane had a series that was a top seller in the '60s, and I'm like,
is that literally the best they can do?
So someone actually brought up there's more fan content around Wonderbat, and I'm like, well, that first off, that's
fan made.
There's fan content. Well, first off, fan made, and I said I'm going off of sales. Where I'm like, well, that's a very simplistic way of looking at it. And then now they're telling me not to look at sales, and I'm like, I'm going off of sales because DC's a business. That's the way this works. Well, it's supposed to operate like a business. My point is that, particularly now, money is everything, because otherwise they wouldn't have let Bendis keep John Kent as an adult. That's for you, Tevia. But that's my point. My point is,
I mean, the series did so bad. Not only did they cancel the series, they're like, Bendis, get the heck out of here.
Why do you say that name?
Oh,
No, don't play it. Don't play it.
I'll risk it. It's worth it. But but see, the thing is, it's just for some reason, this is where it gets into the headcanon thing. It's like, even when, because You could accuse me of doing that. Well, I'm like, well, actually, Britt and I do 2.5-hour episodes going on 3 hours, laying out at least a comic justification for it. We give actual evidence about it. And actually, I got into an argument on Twitter, a pretty heated argument on the other side with someone that's like connected to one of us. I'm not going to point out, but when I challenged this person's point, they accused me of being toxic, and I just said, "I'm not being toxic. I'm just pointing out why your evidence is inadequate."
I remember this.
Yeah, and I was like, that was an instant block because, and Nick, to your credit, you offered to have a debate on the channel and stuff, and at that point, I was like, "Nah, I'm not," because inevitably lead to is screaming matches. Because here's the thing. You could say a person could be 100% like fine and positive, but the minute you start like disputing their ships, yeah, at least with me, I'm a little more normal because I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have stuff that's fine, because what people realize when I have points that they disagree with, here's what they have to realize: we don't work for DC. We can't influence the books.
Yet anyway,
that would be.
But we do like the older books compared to the newer books. That's all we can say.
Yeah, and that's fine. You know what? That's fine. That's why I say, you know what, Nick? I'm going to agree with you on that. I'm going to retract my statements about not real fans, because what I have said in the past with Snyder fans, when people rag on Snyder fans and call them not real fans, they don't read the comics. And I'm like, let's go off of that, let's assume for a moment, for the purpose of argument, that that's correct. All right. If you like anything that has the DC logo on it, first off, anything that has the DC logo on it, that is that version of the character. You can't say that's not Superman, because that is, according to DC, Superman. And second off, if you're a fan of anything that has the DC logo on it, you're a DC fan.
Like, there's people who are big fans of the DCAU, but don't really read the comics that much. You know, like they're fans. You know, there's people who only watch the Zack Snyder movies, don't really read the comics much. They're fans.
There are people who like Batman and Batgirl together. I think Teladia froze, but that's besides the point. But you get my point.
You had to bring that up.
I had to bring that up. But Teladia had internet issues. But again,
there's people who insist on shipping Batman and Wonder Woman. I don't know why, but
which I'm like, hey, you know what? I strongly disagree with that, but that's fine. But the point is, if it has that DC logo on it, I don't care if you're. I don't care. You're a DC fan. Same thing with Marvel. Same thing with Star Wars.
Let's say you're going to have a comic guest on, and they came on with a T-shirt, and it was a fan art of, you know, that one like Superman cover where Wonder Woman and Superman are kissing, but instead of Superman, it's Batman, but in the same pose, and they just had that T-shirt.
There's the Blackest Night panel that's like this was Greg or Greg Rucker, because he's for long wanted Wonder Woman to be with the bad boy, so he did a panel of like Wonder Woman and Batman kissing. If that came on, I would be like, okay, I strongly disagree with that, but you're coming on my channel to have a nice conversation about it. I really don't care. And by the way, that's a panel that's not even canon anymore because of Flashpoint. Thank you, Jeff Johns. But the thing is like, hey, listen, just because I hate Lois Lane does not mean you cannot like Lois Lane. I mean, let me put it this way. My friend Robert, who I do a lot of content with, I met him to do Nerdad. He's a 100% like Lois Lane fan, Clois supporter. I go on his show, he shows me stories, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I can talk about when she's objectively written well, like the Snyderverse. But the point is that, again, to reiterate for Teladia what I was just saying, I have a friend who's diehard Lois and Clark, and I'm like, okay, fine. I strongly disagree, but hey, the way I take it, and then Nick, I know you've said it too, and Teladia, I know you've said it. As long as you're not personally attacking me or anything like that, or like trying to take away my fandom, you can have any opinion you want. I don't care. This is the way this works. What's up?
I hope you live a long and happy life.
Oh, thank you. You too, you terrific person.
How dare you be so kind and generous? I like you!
Teladia, you're awesome.
Well, you're awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But
I want you to succeed, Teladia! I want you to be all rich and famous! I want you to have a family and kids and have a good life!
the people listening to the audio are like, what the hell did I just turn on? Sorry, guys. It's a bit. It's a bit.
I'm lost.
But, and again, the thing is like, the point is, as long as you're being, as long as someone is not personally attacking you, if someone says, I think Lois Lane is the worst character, first off, I had someone tell me that I was insulting Lois Lane, and I'm like, she's a fictional character. I can't insult a fictional character.
I am going to beat characters. I am going to beat you down with positivity. I'm going to say so many nice things that you are going to be so freaking happy when I'm done with you.
Can I say one?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Claudia.
When you say fictional character, you literally mean fictional characters, guys.
Yes,
fictional.
I know. That is. Thank you, Kevin Smith.
It's even worse. Like shipping fictional characters is one thing.
That's fine.
What's worse is when shippers ship real people. Like you see this a lot in like the streaming area or content creation, where like you have like
celebrities.
Well, yeah, but it's really bad in like the content creation stream arena because like, oh, like there's this content creator and like this other female one, like they're really nice and you're nice friends. They should be together. It's like, dude, I'm married. I have a wife. She's my friend. Please stop shipping us. Please stop sending us these bad fan art. Like it can get really bad. Mm-hmm. And then the shippers get mad and whatnot. It's
like, I remember this was great during the lead up for Falcon Winter Soldier. Actually, it was when the thing just ended. Someone said that they should put like Falcon and Bucky together, and Anthony Mackie literally said, it's possible for two guys to just be friends, right?
Oh my God, have you seen some of those panels where like the teenage girls are talking to him? Like also like Anthony Mackie like says bad stuff. Then like there's these one girls where like they're not really Marvel fans, they're like Tom Holland fans. Mm-hmm. And oh my, just hats off to Anthony Mackie. That man's a real one.
That dude's awesome. I love that guy, and he plays a pretty great Falcon. I'll give him that.
And he says, "Quiet on the set, quiet on the set."
Yeah. But it's so the overall point of this episode. It was not. It's just to talk about our encounters with toxicity. I mean ours. So You've heard me talk about my encounters with people. So you know what, Nick? I'll start with you. Your time to talk about your encounters with internet toxicity. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I guess I'll probably bring up the most recent one. So people who know me know I'm a pretty big Power Rangers fan.
And to be clear, don't name names of other YouTubers or anything like that.
We're going beyond YouTubers.
Yeah, Good. I know what he's going to bring up, so go ahead.
So, I'm like I've always been pretty adamant that when you need to create, you need to be a fan of what you're doing. You need to love what you create, or at least have respect for the source material, because I feel like it shows up in your work, and it's a lack of respect for the source material that has gotten us to where we are now. Mm-hmm. And so we're dealing with Power Rangers, the producer of Power Rangers. I'm not going to name his name, but you guys can look it up, whatever. He said, I'm not a fan of Power Rangers. And he also said some really bad takes that Power Rangers should get away with the tokusatsu. So
that guy?
I may be two separate people. Like, if people want to correct me and say someone else said it, then I'll be happy to be wrong.
Put in the comments, Nick is hashtag the Phoenix Press is wrong.
Yeah, if I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. I'm just trying to be fair here.
Go ahead.
But I knew, like, and it said, so I did like a call. It says, "And why are you producing Power Rangers?" And like, the guy actually responded to my comments, and he did like, "Have you seen Dino Fury?" Like, he tried to do like, knew exactly what he was trying to do. He was trying to set up the own of like, if I would have said no, it's like, oh, then you don't get to have an opinion because you didn't see Dino Fury or whatever. and I pretty much called him on it, like, dude, I know you're trying to set up for an own. It's not going to happen. And then he blocked me. You know, it's like, for one thing, you're the producer of Dino Fury. What the frick are you doing responding to an article on frickin' Twitter? You're the producer of the show. You that's nearly James Gunn level. Like, that would be like James Gunn responding to some of our messages and being that stupid, you know. And it's that kind of toxic fan interaction.
Go on for that. I actually have a story from that, and then I'll let you go on. But this is a story Britt told me. Someone actually called out Tomasi going, hey, listen, dude, why did you do this when Superman and Wonder Woman were... It was a pro-SuperWonder thing. I've seen the tweet. They were 100% like civil. They just wanted an explanation. Tomasi instantly blocked them.
Like literally, he could have said, hey, man, I realize this might not be your jam, but I stand by my work. I stand by my crew. If you don't like it, that's fine. Like, I wasn't attacking people.
No.
You know, but like I was just expressing my opinion. You know,
Sean
like
Gordon...
he could have literally said that, and there would have been nothing I could have done from there.
Sean Gordon Murphy has a fantastic. He says what he always says when people come up to him and say, "Hey, I didn't like this." He goes, "Okay, dude, that's fine. I appreciate the feedback. I'll try and win you back on the next issue."
See, that is a man I can respect.
Sean Gordon Murphy has gone on a record on Purchase Show blasting mainstream comic book people because he basically said they're too entitled and they attack fans. You can't expect them to follow you if you attack fans.
I mean, look at like Mark Millar, like with the comic store in New York closing.
Mm-hmm.
How he said that, and like look at some of the comic pros. That being said. The thing you got to realize is some of these comic pros, even if they say stuff you disagree with on Twitter, that doesn't give you a right to like say bad things. Like, no, I'm going to name a name, but this is going to be in a positive way. Okay, so Heather Antonos says a lot of stuff that I could disagree with on Twitter. All right, and I used to be very disparaging of her online, but then my buddy Zevius, who's actually had personal interactions with her, has said she's a lot more of a pleasant person, like in person. So thus, that's why I don't disparage her online, and I try to be a lot less critical. If someone's going to say something stupid, I'm going to call it out. But I try not to attack the person anymore because, you know, like if I meet Heather Antonos at a convention, like I might say, hey, you say some stuff online, and then if she gets nasty, then I'll just walk away, you know. But if she wants to have a pleasant conversation, because like I met Dan DiDio at a convention, and he can be somewhat of a polarizing figure. He was a great guy. He seemed
like a really cool dude. But it's like, that's another thing. I'm really glad you brought that up. When people attack comic creators because of the direction they take a story, like there were people sending death threats to Dan Slott when he killed Spider-Man in his run. And I'm like, no matter your opinion on Dan Slott's Twitter interactions, that is not okay. Like,
I don't like the way Dan Slott like acts online. You want to know what I do if I saw Dan Slott at a convention and I walk by his booth? I just keep walking. Like, or if I literally, and if I was forced to interact with him for some reason, I just, at the worst, I'd say it's like, if he was trying to interact with me nicely, I'd at least give him that. But if worst comes to worst, like, hey, just whatever. Just
or you know what? I gotta be honest. I have a few of his comics. If I had them with me and I was passing by his table, I would probably get them signed and have a nice conversation. Because as far as I know, because as far as I've heard from people, when you actually interact with him, it's the same thing with Heather Antos. He's a nice guy. So I'm like, okay, you know what? That's fine. I may strongly disagree with your takes on Twitter, but hey, as long as if you're a nice guy to me, that's fine. We will be 100%.
I've actually heard that Heather Antonos is actually very charming in person, which actually would make a lot of sense with given her career track. Well, how her career keeps going. Like if she's like that charming in person, then it makes a lot more sense why she still keeps getting work, because she's that personable. Then it makes a lot more sense why people keep hiring her.
Yeah, 100%. If you're a nice person, okay, that's fine. And if I see people saying you death threats on Twitter, I will come to your defense, because that is over comic books. People are some fans send death threats to creators.
How about instead of death threats, we send success threats? Like, Jared, I want you to be successful. Teladia, I want you to be successful.
Nick, Screecher's awesome. It's one of the best indie books ever. I hope it goes.
Teladia, your content's awesome. You're awesome.
It's hilarious.
Jared,
This is the weirdest stream. I love it.
Yeah, this is just.
By the way,
weird.
I'm coining a new term. What we're doing is called aggressive positivity.
Yeah, I think that's good. I like that one. I should title this "We Get Aggressively Positive." But the point. But again, don't attack people over. Don't send death threats to a creator over. It's the same thing as don't send death threats to an actor. Same thing. That's it. If you don't like the story, just say, hey, listen, dude, I don't like your take on a character. Because actually, people have told Tom King, you know what, dude, I didn't enjoy your Batman run. He's like, okay, you can't win them all. If you're nice and you're respectful of the person, maybe they'll pay attention and say, okay, so what didn't you like about it? And then maybe you'll have a nice conversation. Maybe you can improve their writing down the line. And they'll go, you know what? That's a good point. Maybe I'll bring that in.
And you know what? I did exactly that with Dan DiDio. Because Dan DiDio, for the longest time, like to my perception, had this reputation of being very anti-Stephanie Brown. Okay, like he was known for really not liking Stephanie Brown, and I brought it up to him, and I was very polite about it. Like I was very like, you had this reputation. Like I was very nice about it, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was a big champion, blah blah blah. And you know what? I have no reason not to believe him. So.
No, there you go, and that's the point. You know what? The point is, you receive kindness with more kindness. I realize that's a foreign concept on the internet, but you know what? There you go. That's it. Yeah. You can be. Again. I want to conclude with this. You can strongly disagree with someone's takes. You just can't attack them. That's it. Because you know what? If you come to me and say, Jared, you know, I like Wonderbat or Clois because of this. And if you're respectful, I'll go. I have actually said in my comments, it's right there. And I said, you know what? Thank you for providing that perspective. I never really thought about it that way. Thank you. Go ahead, Nick.
Jared, I'm really sorry to say, but your YouTube channel is really awesome.
That is so kind. Thank you. Thank you.
You love how I did that? I used like sad inflections like I was assaulting
Nick,
you.
Yours is adequate. I'm looking. Yours is awesome too. That's the point. But and Teladia, yours is gonna.
Teladia's
I hope your channel keeps growing. We are standing here on the precipice of our achievements.
I'm almost at 2K, so
I hope you reach 2K.
There you go. So we can have more subscriber punishments. Those are going to be fun. But you know what? I think
remember Teladia, don't choke on your aspirations.
But actually, Teladia, you have internet issues. So I wanted to ask you your concluding thoughts on like the people sending death threats to comic creators or like just basically fandom in general.
The fandom in general, it's the internet, and plus it's fictional characters. It's not real things. Like, I'm gonna keep on repeating this. Fictional characters.
That's the other thing. Like there is an inherent toxicity to the internet because you literally have everyone in the world has a voice, no matter how much. And it's like I've kind of been real like. There's been a lot of like chatter in the indie comic community, like, oh, we need to stop beefing. Like, I'm sorry, but like, there's gonna be toxicity no matter how great things get.
It's gonna happen. There's toxicity in every single fandom.
So this is gonna be a hot take. I don't care if people are getting death threats. I don't care if they're getting death threats online. Now, if they're serious, like you want to take them seriously and investigate them, that's fine. But like complaining about getting death threats online, especially when you're like that high caliber of a creator, I'm sorry, but Mark Hamill probably gets death threats every 5 seconds. Or like Elon Musk probably gets death threats every like 5 of them every 0.32 seconds. You know, it's part of the online landscape. This is probably a controversial take, and I'll take that heat. I'll take that, G. But like, so when people complain about people like when people are saying bad things online, and then it's act like, like there's a difference between like now when it escalates and you start showing up to an unlisted address of a comic book creator and defacing their billboards. Yeah, then you take it too far. If you know what I'm talking about. But like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like that's too far, but like just flag online is just chatter online. Block it if you have to. Yeah, so that's why whenever I hear about like, oh, they received death threats, this creator received death, like I received death threats for that. Like, you're online, like it's gonna happen. Like, Jesus Christ, grow a frickin' spine, grow some skin.
True.
Dear
they
God.
act like they didn't expect it.
I browse 4chan for Pete's sake. I browse a B-board. If I can survive B-board, come on.
Ah, jeez, Nick, you are old.
I mean, it's still active, so.
No, but still, no one goes on 4chan anymore. You feel like the old person that still goes on MySpace.
I mean, considering how a lot of leaks originated in 4chan.
Mm-hmm. What were you saying, Teladia? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not wrong.
But still, it's like a fandom. It's like they go haywire and they go at each other's throats, like literally on the internet over nothing. And it's like, it's silly, it's thing. Why can't we just get along with each other? If you like, let's say if you're a Snyder fan, you like Snyder's content, great. If you're a DC fan, but you don't like Snyder's work, that's fine. But you don't have to bash each other's like, knock heads over the fact of who's right and who's wrong. Because like I get it, right? Yeah, I'm a Snyder fan, right? I love Snyder's DC work. The reason why I like it so much is because it's different. It's different to what I've seen previously. But does that mean
52? That's why.
Yeah. And does that mean I'm gonna bash on Superman Legacy or what James Gunn is gonna put out for his DC film? No. Why would I go on the internet and put meaningful meaning? You know what I mean, Jared? Like hateful comments to Jared.
To be clear, if James Gunn, if we don't like what we see of Superman Legacy, like when we get more information and like set photos and trailers come out, then we'll tell you. I'm not digging this, but we're definitely not going to attack James Gunn or like any of the actors, any of them, anything, because that solves zero things.
Honestly,
exactly, that's my point.
If I can be honest with you, the actor they chose for Superman, I think he can probably do a decent job. He looks like Superman, and he looks like a young Henry Cavill, but and I still maintain I think that James Gunn can write a good Superman movie if he wants to. So I do have hope that it could at least be decent. And I do feel like the cramming of all the Justice League people are probably a studio mandate, and it's probably going to be more of like just a cramming it in like for one scene kind of thing. This is me just like trying to be positive. So let's at least wait till the first trailer comes out before we start like doomsaying.
Yeah,
for sure.
Or like,
so that's what I've got to say anyway.
Even wait until Creature Commandos comes out, because remember that's the first project.
I mean, that's kind of kind of a throwaway because it's going to be animated, whatever. I don't know.
True, but in the meantime, we'll talk about that more on CLD. But so we're gonna wrap it up. This was a great episode. Drop in the comments your comments, guys, on Toxic Fandom. Consider becoming a member. Like, comment, subscribe. Particularly to all these gentlemen. Their links will be in the link below. So, Nick, where can one find you, and what have you got coming out on your channel?
Alrighty then. So, my name is Nick. You can find me at X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it nowadays, at the Phoenix Press. YouTube, just search the same. Got the Friday Night Frenzy coming out, on Friday, of course. Got Spider-Man Let's Play. Then you get your Avatar rewatch. Got some comics watching going on. And then next Friday, we're launching Screenshot #2!
Sweet.
Sweet.
So, Teladia, go ahead.
So as for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Teladia Plays _ Yes, Teladia Plays _ on Friday, obviously I'm doing the CLD stuff, but I'm also gonna be doing different things behind the scenes in regards to next week, because next week's a big week. Saturday's movie night with Jared. Sunday is the Batman 5-hour stream, Batman Arkham Asylum. Where will I finish it? Will I finish Arkham Asylum this weekend? You have to watch it on YouTube. Which
Will
is Teladia
Teladia
Plays.
stop punching air?
Or will I be able to escape Killer Croc's lair? That's what you gotta find out.
Probably not.
That's actually my last playthrough of Arkham Asylum. That's actually where I stopped playing because I couldn't figure out what to do.
Oh,
I
wow.
made it through on my first try.
Of course you did.
Okay. Of course you did.
So that means I'm more Batman than you guys are.
Oh, fluff off. I hope you have a successful comic.
But Monday, I'm going to be reaching out to different content creators, doing collabs on their channel. Tuesday, it's the Batman Arkham stream with Jared, where he gets to criticize me yet again for another hour.
Thank you
Just
for
to
giving me
criticize
so
me.
much material.
Yep. And then Wednesday is the SuperWonder comic series coverage, where we cover New 52, Superman, Wonder Woman, issue 4, I believe. No, 5. 5, right?
We covered 4 last week.
Okay, 5. Issue 5. And this was going to be a very good one. So stay tuned for that. And then
They're
also,
all good ones. You don't have to say it like the past has been bad.
well, you know what I mean. And
yeah,
then
I know.
And then also on Tuesday, I'm also doing a stream with Nick, which is going to be promoting Screecher. So
Toss a coin to your Screecher.
Oh, Valley of Plenty.
Oh, Valley of Plenty.
Oh.
So we'll be talking about Screecher, and I'll be doing an interview with him at 10 p.m. BST or 5 p.m. Eastern time. So you want to tune in for that, which is the 3rd of October. Remember that. And then it'll be the rest of the thing with the guys on Comics League as per usual.
Cool. So as for me, this is coming out on Friday. So my collab with Sil Abdul should be on his channel. I'll leave a link somewhere, or I'll just put the link to the description, where we talk about the first issue of George Perez Wonder Woman, and then we talk about the first issue of Tom King's Wonder Woman. Spoiler alert, we largely liked it. There are some parts where it goes heavy-handed, but it's pretty good. It's a definite improvement over Clunrad, but continuing on, for movie night, we're talking about The Predator.
And this will be my first.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, and on Sunday, I'm going on Jay Heat's channel to record some new direction stuff. We're doing like some aftermath of Godkiller 2. Monday, I'm doing the Avatar. Monday is Super Wonder Legacy, where Britt and I are talking about the various the evolution of the concept of the DC Trinity. Tuesday, I'm doing Avatar rewatch. Tuesday. Sorry, Monday is Avatar rewatch on Nick's channel. Tuesday is Justice League rewatch on Comics League. Sorry, I'm a little confused.
If you look at the numbers for Justice League, you've been kicking butt on that one.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, okay, there you go. But and then in terms of Indie Wednesday,
numbers go up.
Yeah, in terms of Indie Wednesday, I'm thinking about doing another Halo comic, since that actually performed really well. I was able to salvage that video, and yeah, and then I'm thinking about doing and by actually sometime next week, I will be doing my first members only video, which will be every month when I go to the comic book store and come back. I'm going to record a video talking about what I picked up, because that's generally what I'm reading for the month. So it'll be like, here's what I'm reading. And then there you go. Hopefully to encourage you guys to spend more money on comics. And it should be super fun for content. Hopefully, maybe we'll have Nerdette on and talk about the Snyder Cut. So, on that note, everyone, stay heroic. We will see you in the next episode.